Hello students, all of you welcome for the third part of the environmental management. Now next point we're going to study in this topic is environmental conservation is our social responsibility. Yeah, it is more about the social responsibility because more we are aware about our environment, the more we will take precaution and care of our environment to reduce the pollution. And if we reduce the pollution, then we can save our planet. Okay, so that is why it is our social responsibility. Since from existence of human, there is interrelationship between human and environment. It is interrelationship between human and environment, because yes, we all are the important factors of the environment, and this all factors, they depend upon each other, and that forms the ecosystem, a balanced ecosystem which supports the life and existence of life on the earth. On the earth, human being provides its superiority as compared to other animals with the help of characters like intelligence, memory, imaginary ability. Okay, so human being provides its superiority on the earth as compared to other animals. Why? Because human have started using its intelligence, memory, imaginary ability, imagination. So all these abilities of human make him capable and more superior than any other organism present on the planet. Okay, that is why human have developed his lifestyle, and he has established the human society, ethics, okay, laws and regulations to live the life of standard and peace. Okay, human utilized all the natural resources as much as possible. But even though, what is the problem, that the greed of the human is not fulfilled, whatever he gets from the nature, still he wants more and more and more from the nature, and he is now over exploiting the nature. Because of that, what happens, there is a imbalance in the resources. Okay, imbalance in the natural resources, and due to that, there is a collapse of ecosystem, there is a harm to the environment, and if along with this human is causing the pollution of air, water, soil, then there is a dam to destruction. Okay, it's a big destruction to the environment. In an attempt to live a satisfactory life, human kept on snatching from the nature as much as possible, and this lead to increase in problems. Okay, this leads to increase in the problem. For this entire scenario, we can understand that human has crucial role in maintaining environmental balance. So as I said, human have very crucial role in maintaining the environmental balance. If human has distributed the environmental balance, then human itself only can conserve and improve the quality of nature. Many times general public is unknown that its activities are harmful to environment, and thereby unknowingly many activities happen. So what happens? Because of unknowingly many activities happen, and that can harm the environment, and that is the problem of today's lifestyle of human, we can say, and the increased need and increased population of the human is causing an imbalance in the environment. So for that, to stop this all and to control this all, we are not able to stop this completely, but we can control and for that there is an enactment of some laws. Okay, with the help of this laws we can protect the environment. So what is the enactment of the laws, okay, for the conservation of environment? First, I would like to talk about Forest Conservation Act 1980. So this law is implemented in 1980. Okay, and this is Forest Conservation Act, and it states about the land reserved for forest conservation has been prohibited to use for any other purposes by this law. Okay, so land reserved for forest is conserved and prohibited to use for any other purposes. So that land cannot be used by anyone for other purposes which is conserved for forest. Example: permission of central government is compulsory for maintaining activities. Any person who disobeys this law is entitled to imprisonment for 15 days. Okay, so if anyone breaks this law, then that person is imprisonment enacted or entitled for imprisonment of 15 days if anyone breaks this law or uses the land conserved for the forest. Okay, next law is Environmental Conservation Act, and this improved law that is implemented in 1986. What is the law? Purpose of this act is to control the pollution and punish the person or institutes harming the environment. So whoever is harming the environment is punished by this law, or okay, even if it is an institute, that can be also punished with the help of this law. Any person or factory is prohibited by this act from releasing the pollutants in the atmosphere beyond a permissible limit. So if any of the factory industry is releasing the pollutants in the environment beyond the permissible limit, then he can be punished by the help of this law. And person breaching this rule is entitled for imprisonment. Next, as per Wildlife Protection Act 1972, as per clause 49A, trading of rare. So these are the laws, and I'll tell you the specifications of this law. Okay, so as per the clause 49A, if anyone is doing trading of rare animal, has been completely banned under the clause 49A. As per clause 49B, use of articles prepared from skin or organ of wildlife or any wild animal, then that should be banned. We cannot use such things. As per clause 49C, disclosure of the stock of artifacts made from rare wild animals is compulsory. Okay, so this is also not allowed, that any artifacts made from rare wild animal, that should be compulsory, avoid it. Sound pollution, for that there is a rule of 2000. Okay, so you cannot create sound pollution beyond the permissible limit. Biomedical waste management and handling, rule 1998. So who breaks the rule, that will be punished. E-waste, so for that it is the rule implemented in 2011. So if anyone breaks this rule, he will be also punished according to the law. Now the next, I would like to tell you the big story of a small man. So it's a very inspiring, encouraging story, and when we read the story of this person, Jadav Molai Paing, okay, it encourages us to conserve the forest, to encourage the tree plantation, okay, that is called as afforestation. So this person did the same. He started the afforestation movement by himself. He was alone and he was working alone. He started the afforestation movement. So what is afforestation movement? It means he started plantation on a empty piece of land, okay, and that land was not also so fertile land, okay, but even he strived very hard to plant the trees in such area which is not fertile, and then slowly he kept on increasing the number of plants, and even he started taking care of the plants which are previously planted, and slowly in few years he developed a forest. So he is honored by Padma Shri award by the government of India for such big thing. So let us see what is the story. Born in 1963. Okay, the person is born in 1963. See, remember the name Jadav Molai Paing. Born in 1963, he is working as a forest worker since the age of 16 years. Once large number of snakes died in the flood of Brahmaputra river flowing by the village. As a preventive measure, Molai planted 20 bamboo plantlets. So this movement started at his age 16 years, and how it is started? Due to many snakes died in the flood of Brahmaputra river. So for that he planted 20 bamboo plantlets in 1979. Okay, the local social forestry department began a social afforestation project on 200 acres of land. Now, after that, social forestry department began a social afforestation project on 200 hectares of land. Molai was one of the few forest workers who were working after that project. Means when project finished, the work upon the project finished by the government, even though Molai continued on the project and he kept on working on the same project, he started planting, taking care of plants without any government support. Molai continued to plant the tree even after completion of the project. As a result of this continuous work of planting and caring for the trees, the barren area witnessed the forest cover over the 1360 acres. So this is a huge work done by the Molai. Today, this jungle in Kokila Mukh of Jorhat district of Assam is the result of the hard work of 30 years. So you can imagine that how long time it took to develop such a big forest, and the persistent efforts for 30 years is done by the Molai, and such a huge forest cover is developed. So he has been awarded with the prestigious Padma Shri award by Government of India for this unparalleled work. Now it is well known as Molai Jungle. So the name is given to the jungle is Molai Jungle because of work of Molai and dedication of Molai. Many people came together to destroy the forest, but a single person, if determined, can establish a new forest. Okay, means many people were there, they can destruct the forest, but he was the one person to establish the forest. So it's a big thing. Next point, environmental conservation and biodiversity. So what is this? Environmental conservation and biodiversity. See, there is a need of conservation of both environmental and its biodiversity. Okay, most harmful effect of the environmental pollution occurs on the living thing. So the pollution impact of pollution is directly first upon all living things and then other natural things. So biodiversity is the richness of the living organism in nature due to presence of varieties of organism, ecosystem and genetic variations within a species. Okay, so we have lot of diversity of living things. So it can be a plant, it can be an insect, it can be a animal, all type of living things present on the planet. We have huge diversity. Okay, so to which we call it as a biodiversity. And if there is a pollution and destruction to the environment, then there is a loss of biodiversity. The biodiversity occurs at three different levels. Okay. First is genetic diversity. Occurrence of diversity among the organism of same species is genetic diversity. Means, okay, we'll take the example of human being. The person living in one country, okay, and the person living in other country, both are human beings. Both belong to same genus and species. But even though their appearance and few body characteristics are different, so they look different from each other. So what is the difference? There is a genetic difference in these people who are living in different country, and this genetic difference is because of the environment and environmental condition present around them. Okay, so the environmental conditions for every country is different, and that influences or varies the genetic information of the organism. Okay, and that is why there is a genetic diversity. So this is the first level of diversity at level of genetic. Okay, due to different environmental conditions on the earth and the organism present in different locations, geographical locations, they are living in the different environmental conditions. Because of that, it changes the genetic makeup, some physical characters of that organism, and that leads to genetic diversity. Second is species diversity. Innumerable species of organism occur in the nature. This is called as species diversity. Species diversity include various type of plants, animals and microbes. So very simple example we can take of plants. See, in the season of mango, you eat different types of mangoes. Okay, different species of mangoes are available in the market. Why? Because we have different species of mango, different species of plants of mango that can grow a different type of a mango, but ultimately it is a mango. So this is a species diversity. The kind of organism is same, but it has some variations at species level, so it gives the variation in the products or variation in the body characters. Third is ecosystem diversity. So what is this? Many ecosystems are present in each region. Ecosystem is formed through the interaction between plant, animal, their habitat, and changes in the environment. Each ecosystem has its own characteristics: animals, plants, microbes, and abiotic factors. Ecosystems are also of two types are natural and artificial. Okay, so ecosystem is the place where biotic factor and abiotic factor they interact with each other, and this forms a balanced ecosystem. Okay, so there is a diversity in the living things at ecosystem level also. There are many small or big different type of ecosystem which has its own nature. Okay, and it also includes the habitat of the organisms, okay, where they are living in a kind of environment. So that also influences the diversity in the organism, that is called as ecosystem diversity. The next point is sacred groves. So what are these sacred groves? Actually, these are the uh, small forests or small cover of plants, okay, that can be called as a grooves, or it's a small coverage of the plants that is maintained by a specific community. Okay, especially the spiritual community who is living in the tomb. Okay, and the area around their tomb, uh, which has several type of plants, and it's a small forest cover, so that is maintained by that community. So that kind of conservation of forest is called as sacred groves. Okay, the forest conserved in the name of God and considered to be sacred is called as sacred groves. These are in fact sanctuaries covered by the society and not by the government forest department. So government is not involved in this, okay, because this spiritual communities, they take care of such groves. As it has been conserved in the name of God, it has a special protection. So this small forest cover you can see in the mountainous region, so this can act as a sacred grove. These clusters of thick forest are present not only in Western Ghats of India but in the entire country. More than 13,000 sacred groves have been reported in India. So there are a lot of in number. Thank you. So here we near about complete the chapter, just last part is remaining. So we'll finish that in the next lecture. That is about the threatened species of the forest. Okay, threatened species of some animals. We'll study in next lecture. Thank you.